In this year, unusual department for SUSU has appeared. What is Higher School of Medicine and Biology? Your research area is biomedicine. What direction, according to your point of view, is powering this field for SUSU?
I am a neuroscientist, and I study the brain and how the brain circuits that regulate emotions, and more specifically fear and fear regulation. So I think biological medicine in general is very, very important, but it's a very broad field, has many, many implications across various spectrums within medicine. And I can speak about, neuroscience of fear and its stress and how that relates to psychiatric illness, anxiety and mood disorders, for example, and other psychiatric illnesses. I think the university's prospective focus on this aspect is going to be very important in helping students and helping the community learn about their brain, learn about how it works, and learn about what happens when it does not work.
Now the meeting of International Scientific Council is being held at SUSU, first time in the history of SUSU and Chelyabinsk. What do you think? How does SUSU benefit from it?
I'm very fortunate to be part of a great council members. What's really impressive is the rectors and all the leaders of the university's vision of putting together a group of scientists with diverse backgrounds who are relatively well known and respected in their fields of science and engineering and chemistry, and I think we each bring different perspectives from our respective fields of science, and what we're trying to do is to be as helpful and as useful as possible to your university, to the leadership of the university, to the rector and the president, to give our opinions when requested on how to move the agenda of the university forward in developing science and technology, and putting the university, bringing the university up into the up in the ranks, if you will, at the international level, and bring it into the spotlight. So we are really eager to help and be as again as useful as possible in moving that agenda forward.
In your opinion, is it possible collaboration between SUSU and Harvard University in the future?
Well, nothing is impossible if it's within the interests of SUSU and its leadership to collaborate and build bridges. I think there's always potential. We just have to discuss what the objectives are and what the interests are, and see if there's mutual interest in building those bridges between the institutions.
Your research is focused on PTSD investigation and fear extinction. How do they correlate with each other?
So one of the main hallmarks or characteristics of PTSD is continuous and exaggerated fear responses and anxiety, especially to traumatic, cues or specific reminders that are associated with trauma. So the idea is that patients with PTSD may have impaired capacity to extinguish fear. And that is the link. In fact, we have shown, published a few studies, and along with other colleagues in the US and elsewhere, where we showed that in fact that is the case, that patients with PTSD, diagnosed with PTSD, show impaired ability to extinguish fear or recall fear extinction, to be more precise. And that is also associated with some deficient activation in parts of the brain that are important in regulating fear. And we hope that that once we learn the underlying neurobiological deficits in PTSD, that we can develop new targets for improving the treatment and developing new treatments for PTSD.
Please share your impression of SUSU.
So this is my first time here, and I'm first of all I want to say that I'm very grateful for the hospitality that's been shown to us by the rector and his staff and all the leadership of the institution. We're very grateful for their hospitality and for taking really great care of us, and we've enjoyed our stay so far, and the impression is it's been outstanding for me, at least I speak for myself. We're learning so much about all the tremendous enthusiasm and efforts that the faculty are showing to try to be, reaching the top level and going onto, again, into the international spotlight and moving the ranking and the standings of the university up. And also another thing, and from just my personal experience of giving lectures here, the remarkable and really infectious enthusiasm of the SUSU students. They're just amazing. They're very attentive. They were just there and paying attention the whole time. They're very excited, they're enthusiastic, and they are very smart. They asked many great questions, and it's just really, really impressive to see how excited and eager they are to learn and wanting to learn. And it's really overall a very, very positive experience, and I look forward to continuing to help as much as I can.